Hello and welcome to the another tutorial of this Blockzie module. Here we make a coding journey easy and fun. So till this particular tutorial we have seen different kinds of interfacing sensors to Arduino Uno, and in block coding we have used different kinds of block to get some kind of automation. Now what if you want to learn a DC motor in order to build your own robot? So you'll probably need something a little easier to get started with, which is where you are going to need motor driver, and particularly L298 and motor driver. So here your L298 motor driver comes into the picture because it can control the speed and spinning direction of two DC motors. In addition, it can also control a bipolar stepper motor. So in this particular tutorial, we are going to give the introduction you to with motor drivers. So in this tutorial, we are going to learn about the introduction to motor driver and how to interface a motor driver with Arduino Uno and block coding in Blockzie. So this particular tutorial is divided into three different parts. The first part is introduction of motor and motor drivers. After that, in the second part, we are going to see the particular L298N motor driver. And in the third part, we are going to see the interfacing of L298 motor driver with Arduino Uno and the coding in Blockzie. So the first part is to introduction of motors and motor drivers. So we will first see what is a motor. So as we all know that motor is a device which runs on electrical energy, and in return they rotate different things. So a motor is an electromechanical device that converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. So it is used to generate rotational motion, which is crucial in countless applications ranging from industrial machinery to household appliances. And there are various types of motors, including DC motors, means direct current motors, that operates on a constant voltage. Second is AC motors, which operates on alternating voltage. The third one is stepper motors. So the motors that drives a full rotation into a series of steps, allowing precise control over position and speed, are known as stepper motors. And the fourth type is servo motors. So the motors that provide accurate control over angular or linear position, velocity and accelerations. These are the servo motors. So this kind of motors are everywhere around us, rotating different kinds of parts and machines. Now, let us see what is this particular motor driver, where motor driver comes into picture. So, a motor driver is an electronic circuit or device that controls the operation of a motor. So, to control the operation of a motor, you require a motor driver. It regulates the motor's speed, direction, torque, ensuring the efficient and the safe motor operation. So it controls speed, direction and torque in efficient and safe manner. So motor drivers are essential components in robotics, automation system, electrical vehicles and many other applications. So these motor drivers is used to control motion of a motor and its direction by feeding the current accordingly. And the output of a motor driver is in digital form, so it uses PWM, which is pulse width modulation, to control the speed of a motor. Now, the motor drivers are basically current amplifiers followed by input signals. So, these are the basics about motor drivers which are used to control the operation of motor. Now, let us see the different functions of motor drivers. So, the motor drivers perform several key functions, including first is power amplification, means boosting the lower power signals from a microcontroller or any control system to provide sufficient power to the driver of motor. After that is speed control. So adjusting the motor's rotational speed according to the desired application requirements. Means according to the requirements they will adjust the motor's rotational speed. After that is the direction control, means determining the motor's rotation direction, such as in clockwise or in anti-clockwise or counterclockwise. So they are used also in the direction control. After that is current regulation, means they are used in monitoring and limiting the motor's current to prevent damage during or due to excessive current flow. Means in case of overcurrent they are used as a prevention of this damage which is done or which is going to be done by the excessive current flow. So they are also used as current regulation. Now let us see the motor and motor driver applications. So as we all know that motors are used in kind of toys, cars, lifts, in compressors, fluid mechanisms. Also now let us see the combined applications of motors and motor drivers. So the in robotics field they, they control the movement of robotic arms, grips, and mobile robots. In manufacturing field, they are used in driving the conveyor belts, pumps, fans, and other industrial machineries. In automotive sector, they are powering the electric vehicles, in adjusting seat position and controlling windshield wipers. In the home appliances, they are used in operating washing machines, refrigerators, air conditioner, and many more. So these are the basic applications of motor and a motor driver. So now let us see the particular L298N motor driver. So as we discussed in the beginning of the video, that L298 motor driver is very crucial and is very easy when you add this motor driver, and the functioning of the motor or the control of particular motor is made easy. So L298N motor driver is a dual H bridge motor driver integrated circuit that allows you to control the speed and the direction of two DC motors and a stepper motor. So particularly it is used to control two DC motors at the same time, means its speed and direction, means direction and speed of two DC motors, and also a single stepper motor. The L298N provides bidirectional control, allowing motors to rotate in both the direction. Means it also has a feature of bidirectional control, means you can control or rotate your motors in both the directions. This particular module uses two techniques, means the L298N module uses two techniques for control speed and rotation of a DC motor. So it uses PWM, means pulse width modulation technique for controlling the speed, and the H bridge technique for controlling the rotation or rotation direction. So the in PWM technique for controlling the speed of a DC motor, it is also a widely used technique to accomplish the rotation or the speed of the DC motor. So the PWM is a technique in which the average value of input voltage is adjusted by sending a series of on-off pulses, and this average voltage is proportional to the width of the pulses, which is referred to as the duty cycle. Higher the duty cycle, higher the average voltage applied to the DC motor, resulting in an increase in the speed of motor. So this is how the increment of speed gets done. If you want to control speed in other, means to get the motor at lower speed, what you need to do is you need to shorten the duty cycle, means the shorter the duty cycle the lower the average voltage applied to the DC motor, and that will result into decreased motor speed. So this is how you can use PWM technique to control the speed of your DC motor. The another technique is the H bridge, and that particular edge bridge technique is used to control the rotation direction, means in which direction you want to rotate the motor. So the spinning direction of a DC motor can be controlled by changing the polarity of its input voltage. By changing the polarity of input voltage, you can vary the direction of rotation. A widely used technique to accomplish this. An edge-bridge circuit is made up of four switches arranged in an H shape with the motor in the center. Closing the two specific switches at the same time reverses the polarity of the voltage applied to the motor, and this causes a change in spinning direction of the motor. So this is how the H bridge configuration is used to control the rotation of direction. So it is widely used. This L298N motor driver is widely used in so many projects which requires precise motor control. For example, in robotic vehicles, in CNC machines, or you can say in 3D printers. Now below is the L298 motor driver module. So this particular module has many components, and we will see this different components one by one. So the first one here you can see as it's L298N motor drivers IC, or you can say chip, which contains two standard H bridges capable of driving a pair of DC motors, making it ideal for building a two-wheeled robotic platform. Also, the motor has a supply range of 5 volt to 35 volts. Means this particular motor driver can operate from 5 volt to 35 volts and is capable of 2 ampere continuous current per channel. So it works very well with most of the DC motors. After that, this particular module also has two different things, which is one 5 volt enable jumper and a voltage regulator. So this particular when this particular enable jumper, when this jumper is in place, the 5 volt regulator is enabled and the logic power supply is derived from the motor power supply, and this is the particular voltage regulator, onboard onboard voltage regulator, and it is named as 78 am 05 voltage regulator. So this is 5 volt voltage regulator is used. This particular is used to regulate the voltage, and this is the heat sink which are provided on board, and this is the brain of the module. So these are the features of L298 and motor driver. So as we have just discussed the H bridge circuit or H bridge configuration technique to control the rotation of the speed is here, as you can see here. This dual H-bridge configuration allows control of two independent motors independently. Means this allows the controlling of two motors independently. After that is maximum voltage, means it supports a wide range of input voltage ranging from 5 volt to 46 up to 46 volts. After that is current capacity, means it can handle a peak current up to sometimes 3 ampere per channel. After that is built-in protection, means it has built-in diodes, or it includes built-in diodes for protection against back EMF. EMF means electromotive force generated by the motors. So these are the main features you can say about the L298N motor driver. Now let us see the pin configuration of L298N motor driver. So this L298N motor driver or module has 11 pins that allows it to communicate with the outside world. Now these pins or the pinout is as follow, is shown in this particular image. So it has three different power pins. So first is L298 motor driver module receives power from this three particular power pins, which are of 3.5 pitch screw terminal. So these are the three pins from which this particular module receives power. So this is a VS pin, this is GND pin, and this is VSS pin. So this particular pin, VS pin, it is used to power the IC's internal H bridge, and this pin accepts the input voltage ranging from 5 volt to 12 volt. After that is GND pin. So this particular GND pin is the common ground pin. And after that it is a 5 volt pin, which is also known as VSS pin, and this particular VSS pin is used to power the logic circuitry within the L298 and IC. Means there is a logic circuit, and that logic circuit is powered by this pin, and it can range between 5 volt to 7 volts. Means this particular pin can handle voltage from 5 volt to 7 volts. After that we have the output pins, means the output channels of L298 and motor driver. One channel particular is here, output 1 and output 2. For motor A, means particular motor 1, first motor A, and after that is output 3 and output 4, which is on the other edge of the module. This is on the one edge of the module, and this is at the another edge of the module. These are in this type of way. So this is the another channel for motor B, output 3 and output 4. For motor B, these are broken out on the edges of the module with same 3.5 pitch screw terminals, and you can connect two 5 volt to 12 volts DC motors to this particular terminals. Each channel on the module can supply up to 2 ampere to the DC motor, and the amount of current supplied to the motor, however, depends on the capacity of motor power supply. After that we have the direction pins, means you can say the motor control pins. These are IN1, IN2, IN3 and IN4. So these are for controlling the direction of the direction of this motor. So this particular pins, the direction control pins, allow you to control whether the motor rotates in forward or the backward mode. The pins actually control the switches of H bridge circuit within the L298N chip, and in return they will change the direction of the motor. After that, the module has also two direction control pins, which are this IN1, IN2, while the IN3 and IN4 control the spin of the other motor. So here the A is specifically for here A for this A motor, and this two for motor B. So this INA1 and IN2 pins control the spinning direction of motor A, and IN3 and IN4 controls the spinning direction of motor B. The spinning direction of motor can be controlled by applying logics. Here it works on logic high or logic low. According to that logic, it will control its direction. Means it is whether the motor will go in forward direction or in backward direction. So using, if both the inputs are low, at low, input 1 and input 2, whether input 1 and input 2 both are at low mode, then motor will be in off position. If motor input 1 at high and input 2 at low, then motor will go in forward direction. If input 1 is at low and input 2 is at high, then motor will go in backward position or backward direction. And when both the motors input 1 and input 2 are at high, then again motor will go in off mode. So this is how the direction of motor will be controlled using this IN1, IN2 for motor A and similar for IN3, IN4 for motor B. After that we have again two this switches or the pins, naming ENA means enable A and enable B. So these two pins are known as speed control pins. These are direction control speed, and these two pins are speed control pins. The speed control pins, which is ENA and ENB, are used to turn on or off the motors and control their speed, whether you want to turn on or turn off your motors or control the speed. This pulling this pin high will cause the motors to spin, means if these pins are in high mode or is supplied to high, then the motor connected to it will spin high or will start spinning, while pulling this at low will stop them. So this is how the pinout or the pins will work for motors speed control and direction control. Now let us see the application of L298 motor driver, that where this particular module can be used. So it has a wide range of applications. For example, in robotics, if you want to control the movement of robot wheels, arms and grips. In CNC machines, they are used to driving stepper motors for precise control of movement. In terms of home automation, they are used to control the curtains, blinds and motorized doors. And in electrical vehicles, they are used to regulate the speed and the direction of motors used in small electrical vehicles. So yes, they are also used in small electrical vehicles. So these are the application area of L298 and motor driver. Now let us see the interfacing of L298 and motor driver with Arduino Uno. We have just seen its pinout. Using that pinout, we are going to connect the two motors to L298 and motor driver and Arduino Uno. So the hardware which we are going to require are two BO motors, one Arduino Uno board, a USB cable, one L298 and motor driver, external power supply and a few jumper wires. The software which we are going to use for coding is Blockzie, and we will perform block coding in this. So this is the circuit diagram. Here we have connected two particular motors and a power supply with Arduino Uno. The first motor, which is motor A, is connected at this channel and the motor B is connected here. After that, we have connected the enable pins, which is namely enable A and enable B on pin number 10 and pin number 5. After that, we have connected IN1, IN2, IN3 and IN4 on pin number 9, 8, 7 and 6. We have connected the positive terminal of battery to the 12 volts of the module of L298 and motor driver, and the negative terminal of battery or the external supply is connected to the GND pin of the L298 motor driver, and also it is connected to the GND pin on Arduino Uno. So this is how the code logic works for this particular project. We will see that in the Blockzie. So here we will see the coding part in Blockzie. So for that, first of all, go to this node device selected and select Arduino Uno board. Switch over the upload mode and select the Arduino Uno begins. So first we are using this particular block when Arduino Uno begins. We will start our coding with this particular block. After that, we also require L298 and motor drivers extension. So we will go to extension and we will select L298N. It will enable the L298N related blocks in Blockzie. So it has three different blocks. The first block is this. The second block and the third block. So first block is there to define the pins, means on which pin you have connected that particular channel. After that, this particular channel is going to run as forward or backward, and at what speed, means the rotation or the rotation movement of your motor. So if you want to move forward or you want to move backward, at which speed will be defined here. After that, if you want to stop the motor, so you can use this particular block. So first of all, we are going to give pins, that on which pin we have connected which particular section. So on channel 1 or channel, on the we are initializing the particular channel 0, and on channel 0 we have connected the pins. So particularly the IN1 pin is connected to 9, pin number 9 of Arduino Uno. IN2 is connected on the pin number 8, sorry, pin number 8, and enable is, that particular enabled is on pin number 10. Now talking about channel 1, for that the IN1 is connected to pin number 7, IN2 is connected to pin number 6, and enabled is connected on pin number 5 itself. Now what we need to do is we need to move our motor in particular direction. So we are going to use this forever block because we want that particular action to be repeated on and on in loop. So we are using, now that we need to first start our motor and give it some kind of forward motion. So we are going to use this channel 0 run in forward mode and at its highest speed. From here you can vary the speed also. So here we are using the highest pin. On channel number 1 also we want it to go in forward direction at its maximum speed. After that we are going to use a wait block to get the delay, and we will repeat the blocks. Now we are performing the backward motion, and for backward we are just changing speed. We are decreasing speed for backward motion. Now we will change it a little bit. First we are moving channel 0 in forward at a speed of, let us say, at minus 100. Okay, minus 100, and at that time channel 1 at backward with the speed of same minus 100. Again, let us just quickly change that. If you want to go in this channel in backward and this channel in forward, but now we will use the positive sign, and we will connect it with main code, and this will give you as motor rotation forward, backward, one forward, another backward, one backward, another forward. So this is how the L298N motor driver gets connected with Arduino Uno, and the coding for this particular in block coding using Blockzie. Hello and welcome to the another tutorial of this Blockzie module. Here we make your coding journey easy and fun. So let us begin our today's tutorial, which is about the motor driver. So in this particular tutorial, we are going to learn about introduction to motor drivers and how to interface the motor driver with Arduino. The table of content for this tutorial is first part is introduction of motors and motor drivers. In the second part, we are going to see particularly L298N motor driver. In the third part, we are going to see the interfacing of L298N motor driver with Arduino Uno. So let us begin our first part, which is the introduction to motor and motor drivers. So first of all, what is motor? As we all know that motors are the kind of device which runs on electrical energy, and in return they are give they are giving mechanical energy. So a motor is an electromechanical device that converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. So it is used to generate rotational motion, which is crucial in countless applications ranging from industrial machinery to household appliances. So there are various types of motors, including DC motors, so direct current motors that operate on a constant voltage. After that, we have AC motors, which are alternating current motors that runs on an alternating voltage. Third one is stepper motors. So these are the motors that divide a full rotation into a series of steps, allowing precise control over position and speed. After that, we have fourth type, which is servo motors. So the servo motors that provides accurate control over angular or linear position, velocity and accelerations. So these are the servo motors. So any motor is there to convert the electrical energy into mechanical energy. Now we will see what is a motor driver. So a motor driver is an electronic circuit or device that controls the operation of motor. Means how you want to operate your motor is done by motor driver. It regulates the motor's speed, direction and torque, ensuring efficient and safe motor operation. Motor drivers are essential components in robotics, automation systems, electric vehicles and many other applications, because in this kind of particular areas we need to control the motor's speed, its direction, its torque with maximum efficiency and safety. Motor driver is used to control the motion of a motor and its direction by feeding current accordingly. Output of motor driver is in the digital form, so it uses PWM, which is pulse width modulation, to control the speed of a motor. So PWM pins are used in case of motor drivers. Motor driver are basically current amplifiers followed by input signals. So this is how a motor driver is used. So the basic use or applications of a motor driver is to regulate the motor's speed, direction and torque, ensuring the efficient and safe motor operations. And the motors, these are the different motors, and the application areas of this kind of different motors are, you can include it in, for example, in lifting gears, conveyors, compressor, pumps. Also, the brushless DC motors are used where the noiseless operations are required, and the servo motors are used in toys, cars, airplanes, domestic electronics kind of things. Also, the stepper motors are used in the reciprocators, automatic digital camera, fluid pumps, medical scanners, plotters, circuit fabrication. So these are the different application areas of different types of motors. So after seeing motor and motor driver, let us see the functions of this particular motor drivers. So why the motor drivers are there? So motor drivers perform several key functions, including first, the power amplification, means boosting the low power signals from a microcontroller or control system to provide sufficient power to the driver of motor. After that is second, speed control, means adjusting the motor's rotational speed according to the desired application requirement, means as required of our application it will adjust the motor's rotational speed. Third is direction control, so determining the motor's rotation direction such as in clockwise or counterclockwise, means in which direction your device should operate or should go, it's going to be done by this motor driver. The fourth is current regulation, means monitoring and limiting the motor's current to prevent the damage due to excessive current flow, means sometimes there are cases of overcurrent. So this kind of risks or damages can be reduced using the motor driver, because motor driver is there to monitor and limit the current to motor. So these are the different functions which are done by motor driver. So the combining applications of motor and motor drivers are in robotics, to control the movement of robotic arms, grips and mobile robots. In manufacturing area, driving conveyor belts, pumps, fans and other industrial machineries. In automotive sector, the powering electric vehicles, adjusting seat positions and controlling windshield wipers. In home appliances, they are used in operating washing machines, refrigerators, air conditioners, etc. So these are the applications of motor and motor driver. Now let us see the particular L298 motor driver. So this is how your L298 motor driver looks like. So the L298N motor driver is a dual H-bridge motor driver integrated circuit that allows you to control the speed and the direction of two DC motors or a stepper motor at the same time. Means this is a particular module using which you can control the speed and direction of two DC motors at the same time or a single stepper motor. The L298N provides bidirectional control, allowing motors to rotate in both the directions. This module uses two techniques for control speed and rotation direction of DC motors. These are PWM for controlling the speed and H bridge for controlling rotation direction. Means this particular two techniques are, first is PWM and the another one is H bridge. So PWM is to control the speed and the H bridge is there to control the rotation's direction, means in which direction the rotation of the particular device should be go. After that, it is widely used in projects requiring precise motor control such as in robotic vehicles, CNC machines and 3D printers. This kind of L298N motor drivers are widely used. Here you can see its module, and this particular is 5-volt enable jumper. This is there for heat sink purpose. This is L298 motor drivers IC, which is you can consider as the brain of this motor driver. And after that, it is a voltage regulator which is specifically 78M05 to regulate the voltage of this particular device. Now let us discuss the features of L298N motor driver. So dual H bridge configuration means it allows control of two motors independently, means you can control two different motors independently. After that is maximum voltage, supports a wide range of input voltage typically up to 46 volt, means this particular motor driver can be operated up to 46 volt input voltage. After that, its current capacity. So this particular L298N motor driver can handle a peak current of up to 3 ampere per channel. Built-in protection means it includes built-in diodes for protection against back EMF. EMF means electromotive force generated by the motor. So it protects the device using the built-in diode from back EMF. Now let us see the pin configuration of L298N motor driver. On the motor driver, you will be able to see this kind of different configuration, particularly this, 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 and this too. Also this four. So the power supply pins, which are this 5 volt, 12 volt, and GND. This three can be called as power supply pins. Means using this you can provide power to the IC module. This module's IC means here you can provide 5 volt, here you can provide 12 volt, and from here you can give ground. After that is motor control pins. Means to control the motors you can use these pins, namely IN1, IN2, IN3, and IN4. And this is used to control the direction and the speed of motors. So these input pins are used to control the speed and the rotation of motor. After that, on the both the edges of this module, we have this output pins, which are output 1, output 2, your output 3, and output 4. So these are used to connect the motors. So these are going to be connected to the motors. And also we have this enable pins. This enable A and enable B. So these are used for enabling or disabling the motor outputs. So now let's see the different applications of L298 and motor driver, that where this particular motor driver can be used. So the L298 and motor driver finds applications in various projects, including first is robotics to control the movement of robot wheels, arms, and grips. Also in CNC machines, it is used for driving stepper motors for precise control of movement. Third is the home automation. It is used to control the curtains, blinds, and motorized door. So these are the home automation application area. After that is in electrical vehicles. So these are used in regulating the speed and the direction of motors in small electrical vehicles. So this is the application which are used in the small electric vehicles. So these are the application area of L298 and motor driver. Now we will see the third part, which is the interfacing of the L298 and motor driver with Arduino Uno. So these are the components which we are using in this particular part, which is two BO motors, one Arduino Uno board and the USB cable, one LN298N motor driver, one external power supply battery, and few jumper wires. The software which we are going to require is the Blockzie software, and this is the circuit diagram of your project. As you can see here is we have connected two motors, one here and one here. So the two terminals of motors are connected through this particular two, and this motors is connected to here. After that, we have connected the batteries positive to this 12 volt pin and the batteries negative to this ground pin. Also, the ground pin is connected onto the Arduino's GND pin. After that, we have used this input 1, input 2, input 3, and input 4 on the pin number 6, 8, and 9. So input 1 is on pin number 9, input 2 is on pin number 8, input 3 on pin number 7, and input 4 on pin number 6. Enable A and enable B. These are connected on pin number 10 and pin number 5. This is the coding for our project, which we will see in Blockzie also.